Imagine moving into a new home, only to discover something far darker lurking in its walls. This is the story of Latoya Ammons and her family, who found themselves at the center of one of the most terrifying hauntings in modern history. This is the Ammons Haunting. Welcome to Chasing Spiritz, where we explore the strange, the supernatural, and the unexplained. I'm your host, Ethan, and I'm with my co-host, Reed.
Hello. What's going on?
What's up, man? You ready for a good episode here?
Yeah, I don't know what our topic is. Once again, you like to hide it from
Yes,
me.
I do. This is a good topic. I love this topic. I watched the movie that goes along with this topic.
You did. Okay, what is this topic?
This is the Ammons Haunting.
Another haunting, huh? Well, I
Well,
guess
maybe our first.
this is our first haunting. I was thinking of the alien thing. What was that?
Yeah, that was an abduction.
Abduction. Yes.
Yeah, this is our first haunting. It's also known as the Demon House.
The demon house. Okay, where is this?
Well, I'll tell you all about it. But
All right.
let's start with some fun facts.
All right. What do we got?
The paranormal investigator, Mr. Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures, purchased the house in 2014 for $35,000 without ever stepping foot inside.
Why did he do
right?
that?
Well,
Did he know it was a demon house?
he did. So this is all in the
Okay.
news in the early 2011, 2012 range, the early 2010s. So he later created the documentary Demon House, which stirred controversy for its shocking claims. That is another fun fact. Then Netflix is currently developing their own adaptation of this haunting called The Deliverance, which is currently on Netflix.
Is that the movie you watched?
It's actually not the movie I watched. I watched the Demon House one by Mr. Zach Baggins.
Okay. So that's like the
I haven't
OG.
seen. Yeah, it's an older one. It came out in 2018. The Deliverance literally came out like maybe a couple months ago now.
Interesting.
Yes. So another fun fact: the house was reportedly infested with over 200 demonic entities.
Jeez.
And my last fact is, in 2016, Zach Baggins demolished the house, but he kept parts of the basement for his haunted museum in Las Vegas.
Crazy.
Yeah, I want to check out his museum because he actually has a bunch of stuff. He has more than I think even the Warrens did, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Warrens.
No. Why did you destroy it?
We might talk about it a little bit, but basically in the movie at the end, there is a lot of demonic stuff that happens to him, his cast, his crew, and some of his friends. So he ends up taking the building down because he doesn't want anyone to go in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, Reed, the story we're about to get into is wild.
All right. I hate ghosts.
Oh, you're going to love this one.
No.
Are you ready to kind of start this?
Let's do it.
The haunting took place in Gary, Indiana between 2011 and 2012. In November 2011, Latoya Ammons, her mother Rosa Campbell, and Latoya's 3 children ages 7, 9, and 12 moved into a rental house on Carolina Street. The street was quiet, lined with small one-story homes. Everything seemed normal until December, when strange things started happening. Despite the winter chill, large black flies swarmed their screened-in porch. No matter how many they killed, the flies kept coming back.
That's crazy. So they just moved into this, and so what? Okay. So flies flew into a screened-in porch.
Yeah, so they have a screened-in porch, and basically these large flies are just swarming inside this area.
Okay. Pretty normal. Nothing crazy yet.
Well, think about the wintertime and how cold it is.
Oh, it's in the winter. Okay, I didn't.
And it's screened in, so the air comes through. It's December, so it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
All right, so it's random. It's weird, but it only gets worse. So at night, the family often heard heavy footsteps climbing the basement stairs, followed by a creak of the door opening into the kitchen. When they checked, no one was ever there. Even after locking the door, the noises persisted. One night, Rosa Campbell woke up to find the shadowy figure of a man pacing her living room. When she got up to investigate, she discovered large, wet boot prints on the floor, but no sign of anyone in the house. While unsettling, these events were just the beginning. By March 2012, their growing unease would explode into outright terror. What do we think of that?
That's pretty spooky. Wet footprints in the carpet, I assume.
Yeah, I think a lot of the house is made out of wood. So it's wood floors,
Okay, okay.
barely any carpets. What I seen from the pictures in the movie, but you never know. There could have been carpets, I guess.
That's what I was picturing, but I guess on the wood makes sense as well.
Let's picture kinda. It's not like the best area to live in. If you want, I could show you a picture of it real quick if you want to see it. But that's the house. So it's not like the
Okay.
best area.
Good to know. Good to know.
It's a little, old school, run down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
After March 2012, things start to escalate. So 4 months after moving in, Latoya and her family gathered to mourn the loss of a loved one. It was 2 a.m. on March 10th, 2012, and the family was awake, surrounded by friends. Suddenly, Latoya screamed, "Mama, Mama!" Rosa rushed into the bedroom where her 12-year-old granddaughter has been staying. What she saw left her frozen in fear. Her granddaughter was levitating above the bed, unconscious. Both Latoya and Rosa confirmed that the girl's body was hovering as if defying gravity. The terrified group immediately began praying, and after what felt like an eternity, the girl descended back into the bed. This incident shook everyone. Some family members fled the house, vowing never to return. Dude, levitating is crazy. That's the point where instantly I'm in. You just believe it, right?
If you see it, yeah.
Right.
That's the thing with a lot of this stuff sometimes.
Exactly. So I think a lot of the problems with this story is people say the family faked it, but the thing is there's other witnesses that see stuff
Okay, and you're
outside
talking
of
about
the
the guy
family.
that. Oh, outside of the family? Okay.
So desperate for answers, Latoya and Rosa sought help from local churches. Most dismissed their story, but one church suggested the house might be haunted. They were advised to clean the house with bleach and ammonia and draw crosses in oil on the doors and windows to ward off spirits. Two clairvoyants who visited the home confirmed the family's worst fears. The house wasn't just haunted, it was infested with over 200 spirits. They urged the family to move out immediately. So, not just one spirit is haunting this house, they claim it's over 200.
In this tiny little house, that's insane.
And this is a tiny house. It has a basement. It doesn't have an upstairs, just one floor and a basement. I guess two. But still, 200 spirits in a house.
Yeah, that's so random.
Well, that's the thing. They do have claims that someone did like a satanic ritual in the basement.
Oh.
So maybe they brought in the spirits, but still 200 is an astronomical number.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the energy in the house grew more malevolent. The children began speaking in low, guttural voices, saying things like, "It's time to die, and I will kill you." Their eyes bulged unnaturally, and their mouths twisted into sinister grins. Latoya herself began feeling lightheaded and feverish, as if she had lost control of her own body. In quotes, "You can tell it's different, something supernatural," she later told the Indianapolis Star, end of quotes. Her youngest son started talking to an unseen boy, an entity no one else could see. On one occasion, he was thrown across the room by an invisible force. Latoya's daughter heard voices warning her of death and claiming she'd never see her family again. The family's growing terror affected the children's health and school attendance, prompting involvement from doctors and child services. So far, getting a little creepy.
It is. I don't know why you stay in that house.
There's always circumstances where you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, like money.
Rent could be
stuff and-
expensive,
yeah.
money to move. I mean, you need like $5,000 nowadays to move.
Dude, if this happened to me once, I'd be out.
The thing is, you'd forever be afraid, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can never trust anything again because you've now seen paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
You're a believer. It's just
Mhm.
you could not. So I don't know. Do you know a lot about child services like DCS and anything like that?
No.
Okay. So normally when a family gets called or like a DSS person gets called into a family, they end up checking everything out, like the house. They go through the entire home. They check, family members. They talk to them, and then eventually they decide if they're going to take the kids away. Yeah. Do you know a little bit of it?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So yeah, they kind of eventually they get called because obviously the kids aren't going to school and they're not doing anything anymore. So they get called in. But you'll see later on they actually end up witnessing things too.
Okay.
Crazy. On April 19th, 2012, Latoya took her children to their family doctor. Dr. O, we'll call him, noted the children's disturbing behavior, including speaking in unnaturally low voices and making sinister statements. He described their behavior as delusional. Then something happened that defied logic. While at the doctor's office, Latoya's youngest son was suddenly thrown into the air and slammed against a wall without anyone touching him. Crazy, right?
Yeah. So the doctor now witnessed it.
So the doctor is now witnessing things. What's more, the boy reportedly walked up a wall, flipped over his grandmother, and landed on his feet. A nurse and the Department of Children's Safety caseworker witnessed the event and fled the room in terror.
What the heck?
Imagine seeing a boy basically do a backflip while running up a wall.
And a little boy doing that. Yeah, that's insane.
Dude, any boy doing that of any age is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Despite these inexplicable incidents, some officials doubted the supernatural claims. DCS accused Latoya of neglect, believing she was responsible for the children's behavior. They separated her from her kids, leaving Latoya heartbroken. DCS invited the Hammond Police Department to investigate the house. During a walkthrough with Rosa Campbell, which was the grandmother, 2 officers reported bizarre phenomena. Their radios malfunctioned, and they captured a white smoky apparition on camera. They also recorded an eerie voice saying, "Hey." On another visit, officers noticed a strange oily substance dripping from their blinds. Its origin unknown. So now you have DCS, you have doctors' involvement, and now you have the police department. This is now going to start buzzing everywhere, Reed.
Mm-hmm. Is that recording anywhere? Did you hear that recording?
I didn't take a look to see if the police department had any sort of recordings of the oil, but I think they actually might have footage online because I think there's pictures of them going inside and investigating the house.
Oh, okay.
With the workers. I think I can pull that up, and I think if you check the Demon House movie, I think Zach Baggins put in some of those clips as well.
Okay.
Which we'll definitely watch because we have to now.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, they began the exorcisms on the family. So around this time, Reverend Michael Maganot, a Catholic priest, became involved. Convinced of the severity of the case, he requested permission from his bishop to perform an exorcism on Latoya. Maganot conducted 3 exorcisms, 2 in English and 1 in Latin. During the final ritual, one of Maganot's assistants burned a piece of paper with the demon's name on it. Afterward, Latoya reported feeling normal again. So that's how they got rid of the supposed demon.
Okay.
I don't know about the other 199, but...
How'd they know the name? Because they said it or something?
Don't know exactly how they know the name, but I think the family might have seen it somewhere. And maybe the Catholic Church heard it. I don't really know too much, but there must be something with that. So the aftermath of all this, by November 2012, Latoya regained custody of her children. She and Rosa moved out of the house, vowing never to return. In 2014, Zach Baggins purchased the home and produced the documentary Demon House. However, after his own troubling experiences, he demolished the house in 2016. For Latoya Ammons and her family, the memories of the Demon House remain an experience they'll never forget. When you hear something like this, Latoya told the Indianapolis Star, don't assume it's not real because I've lived it. I know it's real. Okay, so that's the main story right there, Reed. What do we think so far about everything?
No, that's crazy. So I assume we'll get into a little bit of the other guy.
Yeah, so I have some of the facts on the Demon House movie right after this, so we can definitely look at it. And I have some of the stuff that I watched, and I can tell you some about it.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, no, this is it's interesting because there's like so many different things going on, and it sounds like kids are like possessed or something too, which is crazy. And I want to hear some of the. I know you said he demolished the house because like him, his family, and his friends were having like things outside of the house happen to them, so he didn't want anyone to go in. Like That's crazy. It sounds like that's what these people are going through as well. Like even at the doctor's office, being possessed and walking up a wall, like that's insane.
Yeah, the amount of evidence that's around this house is what's crazy. I mean, this blew up all over the internet. This was everywhere. The whole story is online. I think I remember seeing the pictures of it, but I never truly like delved into it enough to know about it. Dude, it's kind of hard to not believe.
Yeah, no, I definitely I want to like watch a couple more like videos on it and just get like a ton more information. I'm sure seeing like the actual encounters too are insane. I'm sure there's like visuals and things.
Right. I mean, I think there's an interview which I could actually put right here, like a clip of the interview, and then we can take a look at it too.
Is this with the family?
Yeah, this is with the mother. If you want, we can add it in. We'll maybe put like a minute segment of it so they can listen to it as well.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
We would lock the basement door, and you would hear something hit the door, boom, and you would hear dogs barking. No dogs outside, no dogs. We would go look, no dogs. and I saw one like coming into full image. It was coming out of my closet. I've never seen it like that before. I would see the shadows, but I've never seen it like how I'm looking at you and you're looking at me.
That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, so that's some of the stuff we talked about before.
They talk about a bunch of different things in the interview. Obviously, they go into way more detail than I ever could have. The claiming of dogs.
Oh, the dogs is crazy. That's a super interesting thing. Because it's like such a normal hearing it that loud and not being able to find where it's coming from, that's terrifying. It's like what?
Yeah, my problem with that is I feel like it could be the neighbor's dogs, right?
Yeah, it could be. It sounded like from what she was talking about in that interview, it sounded like it might have been from the basement though.
Right.
Potentially. Man, that's kind of what I got is like there was banging on the door and they heard like loud like dogs barking like in the basement and stuff and they couldn't find anything.
Oh, imagine dogs and the banging on the basement door.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
I think my main issue is you have to stay in this house still the entire time.
What do you mean?
You obviously live there, so you can't leave. You just have to go through these experiences of experiencing shadowy figures come out of your closet, banging on the door.
No, I'd be out of there, bro. I would be so out of there. I don't care.
No, it's just like it's hard to leave.
Sometimes
That's
you
the problem.
can't. No, I get it. And it's hard. I'm sure at the beginning, like with the flies and stuff, they're like, that's kind of weird, but like that's not like a tied to paranormal until other things happened. I'm sure they were like, oh, this is a really weird thing that happened when we moved in. You know what I mean?
I wonder why the flies were there.
Yeah, that is a random thing.
Do you think
don't
it's
know.
like the ghosts? They probably don't make flies, but maybe they attract the flies to the house.
Maybe. I think it's more of like a energy or a force that brings them. Like, I mean, if they can make a kid walk up a wall, I'm sure they could like from like all the ghost things I've seen, I feel like ghosts don't just show themselves, right? I feel like it's like little hints trying to like get people to go away and then gets worse and worse as they go.
Yeah, I almost wanted to ask you, do you think as they're noticing these things, do you think they're giving it more energy and that's why it's getting stronger?
I bet you. And like they had a bunch of people investigating at the house and all that stuff, probably from at least like ghost movies and a lot of the fake ghost movies and all that stuff. That's kind of like a real thing they kind of pull in is like trying to film or getting people to investigate it and talking about it just doesn't help. Just it gets them more angry, I guess. That's my other thing. It's 2012, dude. Why are we not setting up a camera?
Well, that's a good point. They do have, like I said, there's some pictures and some videos.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's like concrete evidence, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in a house like that and I had to stay, I know you're not supposed to do it. That's just from the movies, though. I don't know if this is an actual thing with like demons and ghosts and stuff. Like, are you supposed to not set up cameras?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that would generate more energy. I don't know, because if you think about it, so far they said it was 200 spirits, which is pretty much going to be normal ghosts most of the time.
Okay.
So then they obviously have this demonic entity come in. I don't know. Do you know the steps of a demonic possession?
I don't.
Okay, so there's 4 steps or 4 different cases of demonic possession. You have the infestation, which is your normal haunted house type stuff like footsteps, voices, apparitions, that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about? The random stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Then step like 2 or whatever it be is oppression, which is like actively steps up with physical attacks, sleep disturbances, nightmares, all that stuff.
Okay.
Then you have obsession, which is person basically has a hard time functioning. They constantly have thoughts of demonic activity.
Okay. And that's probably from step 3 is probably from them putting that in.
Right, like manifestation almost.
Okay.
And then step 4 is possession, which is your normal, they take over, do the talking. So I'm wondering if the kids are possessed because they started saying these things, right?
They started saying the things and walking up walls and levitating. I think the kids were possessed. I wonder if it's like a sort of like a brain thing too. I mean, I haven't looked into possession and all that stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of stories on it and all that stuff. I feel like it's probably going to be easier to take over like a kid's brain than like an adult's. That's my guess.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Maybe kids are more easily influenced by
they're like more vulnerable. Maybe there's something with your brain that needs to happen or whatever, less developed.
I think they do claim that younger people have a better chance of seeing ghosts. Like they're more
Mm.
influenced
Mm-hmm.
by these paranormal things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the whole story. There is obviously more online. The house obviously gets torn down, so you
Yeah.
could go there. It's just grass now at this point. I don't think they've built anything there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But if you want to talk about it, oh yeah, dude, I definitely wouldn't. We can talk about the Demon House movie now.
Okay. Yeah. What do we got there? I know we'll definitely have to figure out. We're still trying to figure out we can watch it and record it, throw it somewhere.
If we can, we absolutely will do a bonus episode. Maybe we'll put it on Patreon. It'll be free. You can just join and then we'll have the video there. But maybe we'll do some like edit of it on Spotify and just post it there. I don't know. We'll see. But basically, so with the Demon House movie, obviously Zach Baggins purchased the house.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to record the whole thing to see if they could catch something. Now, it starts off with Zach Baggins basically claiming before he even buys his house, he has a nightmare of the house where he sees a goat man-like creature. So some sort of demonic demon.
Wendigo.
And right? Yeah, basically. He claims it looks like Goat Man, which is really funny because we just talked about Goat Man.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we didn't talk about Goat Man. We're going to talk about Goat Man.
We're
soon
going to
enough.
talk about Go Man. I think we mentioned him.
We have talked about it briefly. So yeah, he has these nightmares of this. So this is why he buys the house. This is
That's
the whole
crazy.
reason. As the movie progresses, some of the crew members start to experience things. So one of the crew members ends up just quitting straight up because he experienced some sort of negative energy, and he ended up just walking into the basement. Reed, he just walked down the stairs during the middle of like a recording. No one even noticed. He just walked down there, was just in the room.
What the heck?
Yeah, really weird. And he ends up having like this almost possessive activity happen at the hotel that they're staying at. He ends up going like kind of crazy and calling out the demon in a hotel.
Oh my god.
Maybe I can post a clip of it right here of him like going crazy so you guys can hear it as well.
Dude, what's wrong? I'll get in the house, man.
What's
Not
going
not
on?
gonna you like that.
What's in the elevator?
Nothing. Nothing. It's a. If there's anything here, it's a. Here?
But yeah, so he goes crazy. So now Zach Baggins himself, he ends up basically boarding up all the windows and the doors, and he spends the night in there by himself. Just a couple cameras on the walls already stuck in. And Reed, he experiences some creepy stuff in there.
Really?
Yeah, he's like sitting on the bed and you'll hear like growling almost
my
coming
God.
from the base. Oh, dude, it really is terrifying. I mean, obviously it could be faked. I
Yeah.
mean, there's always a chance. But if it was real, it's really creepy.
So, obviously, don't want to ruin the movie for anyone who wants to watch it or whatever. But I will
good
ask
point.
this:
Mhm.
Is there physical evidence in the movie on camera and stuff? Things that would be really hard to fake.
That's the thing. There's always a chance that it could be faked, right?
Yeah.
They do have evidence of like the sounds, like I said, the growling. They have
Yeah.
evidence of a shadow in a doorway,
Okay.
which I'm not gonna lie to you, looks pretty creepy. And then it actually like quote unquote attaches to the cameraman, and he's the one that kind of has some issues as well.
Interesting.
So yeah, there's some stuff that seems like a little weird, but yet again, anything could be faked, right?
Yeah, because I mean, what's a good way to kind of prevent people from looking into if your thing is real? Demolishing the house. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're basically destroying the evidence.
Yeah, like no one can go in there and see if they experience anything.
That you know what that is a fair point. I think
I always like to think about that stuff. Like, there's a reason for everything,
Hmm.
you know? And I'm not saying that I don't believe in this, especially like you said, this is a pretty famous one. There's still not, I haven't seen any like concrete evidence that's not word of mouth yet.
right.
But I'm sure there is more stuff that we can
I
find.
truly wish we could have experienced this place.
God, I don't.
I think
I
that
don't.
would have been so cool to do a paranormal investigation and actually physically see it because I would love to know if it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, like that would be cool. The reason I don't like messing with this stuff is because of the possession. And like
Mm.
things following you.
Right.
Like,
That's the thing. So during the Zach Baggins like movie, The Demon House, he actually goes back to Latoya Ammons and Rosa Campbell and tries to get them to come on, but they never end up coming on. So, but one of their, I think it's a guy friend or boyfriend or something, ends up going and talking to these guys about the place. he ends up dying shortly after the movie or comes out, or after the recording of his interview. He dies.
Oh my god.
So there's a lot of
How did
stuff
he
where
die? Like an accident or something?
when we watch the movie, I'll point it out to you, but I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly how it was. But they talk about it. They do tell you how they die and like what happens to them. So yeah, the guy dies, which is insane. But a lot of people end up actually dying from this. Another thing though, while Zach Baggins was doing his investigation, he was experiencing severe eye problems during the actual movie, and I guess after filming. And he claimed it was because he was there. But he developed a permanent condition called diplopia, which is a double vision in one eye. So now he has to constantly wear glasses,
Wow.
always, forever.
So it just
like
like
that.
messed him up, the energy.
Yeah, you can tell like in the actual movie he's experiencing the eye pain. I mean, I guess he could have faked it, but
Yeah.
also could have been timing. But it was
Yeah,
crazy.
he could have had it and then it started flaring up or whatever, but
Right.
a lot of
Um,
times stress can pull out health conditions that you would have gotten later, if that makes sense.
That's true too. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I
It
guess
could be
stress
that
could bring
too.
out some sort of health issues. Yeah, wow. Another thing is something connected to the film, another death. The former owner of the house, Charles Reed, he died unexpectedly shortly after giving an interview for the documentary. Some
Wow.
people speculate that it is related to the house's alleged curse. He brought a doctor in with him, and he's like a doctor of some sort of science-based doctrine.
Okay.
And he goes in and they check out the basement area, and they experience this really high EMF, which is like
Yeah.
electromagnetic fields.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're walking around the basement, and they claim Dr. Taft experienced like this kind of vertigo feeling, not feeling so good. He goes back to the hotel. He ends up seeing like nightmares, and he ends up in the hospital. All of his body parts, all of his like organs start failing,
Oh my
and he's close to dying. Crazy, right? So you have the
Yeah.
cameraman, you have this Dr. Taft, the kids that come in and visit. These are other family that stayed there, I guess, before the Ammons family.
Mm-hmm.
They come in to visit, and the daughter gets possessed, supposedly, of course. So you have all these outside players experiencing things, and the craziest one, Reed. Obviously, Zach Baggins is part of Ghost Adventures,
Mm-hmm.
so he has other members of Ghost Adventurers that were kind of friends with him. They were kind of like psychics almost. So she ends up calling Zach, this girl named Debbie, and she's married to Mark, which is Mark and Debbie. They were part of Ghost Adventures.
Okay.
She calls Zach and tells him that she saw like an evil spirit and eerie vibe from this house, and she tried calling the house and talking to the demons. Supposedly she did. I don't know how that works through a phone number. You tell me. Ghosts have numbers.
Well, she probably just called the house phone of the house, no?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's a house phone. I don't know if he
Okay,
had one
okay.
there, but after this phone call and during the filming of the movie, her husband Mark kills her and her roommate and himself.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep. So like he probably got possessed.
I don't know how it happened, but it was around the time that this was filmed. And this was obviously filmed through a big span because there's a lot happening, a lot going on. But yeah, so you have a ton of things happening around the movie, which is by far insane. They go into a lot of the evidence too throughout the movie of the house. They show you the house, the basement. I mean, there's other details like the lady's brother got murdered in the basement. They think the dirt in the basement's what's causing the demonic stuff. It is an absolute crazy, crazy demonic possession.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So let's write this. Let's put this on the scary scale. Let's
Spooky
talk about it.
scale.
So spooky, scary scale. 1 star being not scary, 2 stars being slightly unsettling, 3 stars being somewhat creepy, 4 stars being seriously spooky, and 5 stars, of course, terrifying. Reed, what do we think about the Ammons family house?
So definitely this one for me is a 1. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not scary at all. You're like, yeah, honestly, I could take this.
No, I think this one for me is probably, you know what I need to do?
Yeah.
I need to write down what I rated everything so I can look at it, just so I don't like, because obviously there's certain things that
Ooh,
we got to
smart,
get that
yeah,
going.
yeah.
But this is high. This is for me like a 4.7, I think.
I love just the random in between number.
I know, I do the numbers. That's what I do.
Okay, I like that. Well, why though?
Why? What is it? A 4.7?
Yeah, why do you think this is way more scary? This is the best, highest rating so far for you.
Yeah, anything ghost is going to be above a 4, I think. If it's like possession, all that stuff. This
Okay.
is a house. I don't care if it was still up and you were like, dude, we gotta go explore. I'm not going near that thing. Are you kidding me?
Really? Okay.
Yes. Why would I go near the house? Everyone who's been in it either gets possessed, dies, or has nightmares their whole life. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't sound like a good idea.
Okay, so do you believe that this is completely true then?
I think there's definitely portions that aren't true.
Okay.
For spook factor. I mean, it's possible, right? I think there's definitely weird thing. There's also, I bet you there's coincidences that happened.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of it could be that.
I really do. Like I want to know how the boyfriend or whatever died. I want to
Right.
find out that, cuz that's another thing that's like, if he just got in a car accident or something, like everyone knows who's someone who, or knows someone who like
Oh,
passed
I
away like
forgot to
that.
mention, Reed, the DCS lady that was the first one that was there,
Yeah,
she ended up getting in a motorcycle accident too. She got like
that's
all
crazy.
beat up, like hands and ribs were broken. She never returned to the house again.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to go to that? You'd actually go to that.
I think, okay. Realistically, I would be extremely terrified of going there, but it would prove the paranormal to me so easily if this is all true. And this is what I want.
Do you want? I have a deep question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you'd really risk getting haunted the rest of your life just to feel and know that it's there? That's that important to you?
No, I
Chasing
guess
that high, you gotta feel something, huh?
I think you got me. All right, fair enough. You're probably right. I probably wouldn't want to risk being haunted forever, right? But
Yeah.
the thing is, I mean, the Ammons family left and they're not haunted anymore. They're
Are you
making
sure?
Netflix movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're making Netflix movies. That's one of the things too that a lot of people will say might be why this might be like a hoax is they are making money now off of it.
It's just so easy to fake, dude. That's the only thing with a lot of this stuff. Like, we could literally make a video tomorrow in
Mm-hmm.
my apartment, and I could say that I'm moving out, and we could film some random little things, do a little edit, and people would believe it. Not everyone. There would be a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that don't believe a word of this demon house, I bet you. You know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
believe a single thing. I believe in ghosts. I do. There's
Okay.
too much around. I haven't, like you're saying, I haven't seen it myself. I don't know if I want to. You're chasing that to see it because you want to know,
I'm chasing
but you
spirits.
wouldn't. You're chasing spirits. Full circle. All right, that's the last episode, guys.
Yep, and we're done with the show forever. Thank you
We're
guys for
done
tuning
forever. No, but you're chasing that, right? You're
in.
chasing
Right.
that feeling. You want to know really
I want
bad,
to know
but
so
not
bad.
bad enough to haunt yourself for the rest of your life, if it is true.
Right.
I just feel like I've met more people that believe and have their own encounters than not. I've been freaked out a little bit recently.
Really?
I have, cuz I'm going to say
Ooh.
it in here. So, one of my friends, I was telling her about the podcast, right?
Okay.
And she told me a story of an encounter her and her family had, and it was in my hometown on a road that I had to drive by that night after I left her house.
Oh, I think we briefly talked about this in one of the
Yeah,
episodes, didn't we?
I I don't think we talked about it in another episode. I told you that I have an encounter story to bring on eventually. I
Huh.
could save it for another, but I'm gonna just say it because it has too much to do with ghosts
Oh,
and
okay,
things.
okay, okay, okay.
I wish I saw it, but I also don't because I don't know the exact details, right? And I can get more
Mm-hmm.
information if we do an episode on like it's some sort of like shapeshifter, I guess you could call it. I don't know how it
Tell her
works.
she needs to submit too, so we can actually get
Yes.
like all the good details.
Yeah, I'll have her submit on our website. By the way, we have a website up now, chasingspirits.com. If
Mm-hmm.
you do want to submit your encounters, and we got all our episodes on there, where to listen, all that stuff. So check it out. There was a bank that used to be in the center of our town, right? She was driving home from a trip from like Vermont with her family. It was her, her twin sister, her mother, and her father, I believe. Her father really needed to go to the ATM. They don't know why he had to go that late. It was 1 a.m. So they park in the parking lot, right? And he goes into the ATM. Well, they're in the parked car facing the street, right? Out of nowhere, they see a nun, full dressed nun, right?
Did you say a nun?
A nun
Whoa.
with the headdress, all that stuff, or whatever you call it, the hood, right? Turns at their car and starts running at their car, possessed, like looks terrifying, right? They start like freaking out. All three of them are like looking at it, freaking out, right? And once it gets more into the light, it's a runner. It morphed into like a male runner, and it just runs the other way. It's just like someone running, and they're like, okay, number one, who's running in full running gear at 1 a.m. Number two, it wasn't. They saw it change under the light. That freaked me out because like
Whoa.
that's
Whoa.
terrifying. And then I had to leave her house at like 11 and go drive home by myself on that
You're
road.
like, oh my god, no.
On that road, I passed that. I was like, oh god.
We need to get that story, and I think that's
know.
a cool story too, because there's obviously multiple people that saw it.
There's multiple people and there's more information. Like I want to know, was it a runner in a hoodie that had a hood on that could have looked like that? Because all three of them thought it looked like a nun, and it stared at them and sprinted at the car. You know what I mean?
Oh well, yeah, we need them.
Dude,
that stat.
it's terrifying.
I have one thing to say about that though. I'm curious if during like demonic possessions, we talked about the steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the demons could almost mask their face over the person. So I wonder if they saw like a demon possessing this man and saw its true form.
Mm.
And then when it came in the light and it got close,
And it's making him run at 1 a.m. just for whatever reason. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what they were like. They were like, why is there a runner in full running out gear at 1 a.m.?
To be fair, people are weird.
People are weird, dude. But not even that. It looked like a nun to all three of them and sprinted towards the car. Like, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
The way she told it is very believable. I don't think she's lying. And I talked to her sister as well about it because we called her. I was like, I need more info.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It's just sometimes like, I don't know. Ghost stuff freaks me out.
Yeah, I agree. Reed, I totally forgot I have an encounter, by the way.
Okay, let's do your encounter.
Hold on. I'm going to rate this
Yeah,
first, just to get out of the way.
rate.
But I think overall, the Ammons story, this is going to be crazy because the first one, 5 stars.
That's a 5. Oh yeah, you don't do the point. You just go solid and half,
5.
huh?
This is a solid 5 for me. I think it's just, I'm even stumbling my words over here. It's just absolutely terrifying to think about. You have people outside of the circle. You have a movie that's honestly pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah, we gotta watch it for sure.
You have multiple families that live there. The owner, you got doctors going there and all confirming
People
that there's
dying.
some sort of.
Yeah.
You got deaths. They're all confirming that this place has something going on, which that's crazy to hoax to me because, I mean, I guess you make a movie, right? That's probably the only reason they would hoax it.
Mm-hmm. To make
I don't
money,
know.
yeah. Which money drives kind of everything with this stuff, but
That is true. But 5 stars for me for sure.
yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know if I'll have a 5-star. We'll see.
Really? Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
pizza
Because
man.
for me, you're rating it like movies. I'm rating it like
One bite. Like Dave Portnoy, or what I say his last name.
oh yeah. Oh, I
He
guess
does
I
the
am
one
doing
bite thing.
the
He's like,
point
I'm
scale.
never gonna vote 10
5
points.
or a
You do
10.
that,
Oh yeah,
right?
he does out of 10. Yeah. No, I'm kind of like that because I'm like, I guess that's where I do get my philosophy. He's like, if you rate a pizza a 10, you can never have a better one. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I can think of things right now that I will never tell you, Ethan, because I know you're going to do an episode on it, and it truly terrifies me more than this.
Really?
Yes, I will never tell you.
Yeah. All right, you gotta give me a
Maybe
sweet
we'll-
topic.
if
you are you talking about what I think you're talking about, which is the Walkers of Skin?
No.
Oh, well, really?
Dude,
Okay,
there's
what do you got?
things I can't tell you that maybe if we end up like if people watch and we do like a Patreon goal or something, we could do an episode on it. But I actually don't want to talk about it because you're not even supposed to talk about it or say the name. That would be my 5, and I already know it would. Without even you could say a sentence to me, and I'd be like, "Yep," you know what I mean?
On board?
That's why I'm
Okay,
like,
all right.
That's why I'm like, for me, I mean, obviously rate yours 5. I get it. This is really
Mhm.
scary. I think 4.7, I think I said, right?
Yeah.
4.7 for me is high, right? That's very terrifying. I'm just leaving that point 3 for uh
That
other
specific one.
things. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe there's other things that are like that freak me out. Cuz I hate saying this out loud, but I'm going to say it anyways. This is scary in the situation, like we kind of rate, right? But
Right.
right now, sitting talking about this in our apartment, I'm safe. You know what I mean? Like,
You never know. Maybe if you
hey,
mentioned the name.
oh my god, I didn't say the name. You said the name.
I didn't say the name yet, but we can try
Oh,
throwing some names
the
around.
demon name. I'm not touching that thing, dude. No chance.
It's too scary. I
It
believe
is.
it, and that's my problem with it. So that's why I have to rate it
I
high.
know. And I do too. And that's the thing with like, it's what's funny is I believe cryptid stories a lot. I do
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know. I mean, that's the thing that sucks. We talk about Bigfoot literally every episode, but like the fact that so many people have encountered Bigfoot and there's no solid proof or like anything like that or like a dead Bigfoot and it's literally like the Bigfoot map covers the entire US. I just it's hard to believe that more than the little random ones, right?
Right.
Cuz like you said, could be an alien. I believe in aliens more. I don't know. Do you crazy question going off topic a little bit. Do you
Okay.
believe in aliens more or ghosts more? If you could only pick one as real and the other one that you just forget about, right? Which one
Oh
do you think
wow.
is more real?
This is a solid question. Oh man.
Because on one hand, we have we have our dead, right? Like
Right.
humans that have died and they're I don't know what you believe in for like afterlife or things like that, but their
Mm-hmm.
soul is either trapped here or they return to or they stick to like a place, right? So that's like a human soul that is stuck here. On the other hand, an alien is anywhere in the entire universe. I'm not talking it doesn't have to be like aliens we picture, right? With like big heads and like advanced technology. It could be like any creature on any other planet in the entire galaxy, in the entire universe. Which one do you believe in more? Because I think I just kind of laid out what I think, but
You definitely did. I think you're right. I mean, with that thought in mind, I obviously choose aliens because they're
yeah,
way more scientifically likely.
yep,
But if I think about like grays versus demons, it might be a little bit more 50-50
mm-hmm. That makes
because
sense.
I think those kind of aliens, dude, they're insane. We'd already probably see them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, hey, I mean, the other day UFO stuff's coming back out.
What do you
I don't know
mean?
if you saw that.
I
Like
didn't.
some government officials were leaking more UFO stuff. They
Oh,
confirmed that
that's
aliens are
huge.
real, which is making it more chosen that aliens are probably more real.
Yeah, I mean, if they have that much to leak, dude, you know what I mean? It's like the more they're like, we'll leak more stuff. It's like, okay, so there's something that you have intel on, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably aliens for sure. But I do believe once I see something with ghosts, I'll believe it 100%.
Yeah, but
That's it.
in person.
But I'm terrified of the ghost stories.
Have you ever have you ever been to I don't remember what they're called.
Okay.
There's a
Then
famous one that's
yes.
around Massachusetts. Actually, I think she's from around here. Um, but she can hear ghosts or hear spirits, I
Oh,
guess.
like a psychic, like a medium.
No, not a psychic. Uh, I don't remember what they're called. She can a psychic. I think a psychic is different.
I'm pretty sure a medium is like
Yes, no, that's what it
is
is.
what
A
it is.
medium. There's one that I went to with my family actually.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a demon one, right? It was like it was a bunch it was a small group. She normally does large shows.
Okay.
Like huge things, huge giant what you call? Like bigger venues and she feels out energy and she walks around a little bit and she'll feel certain people. She'll be like, "Oh, someone is like bringing me towards you. Like, do you know this person?" And she's right all the time, like every single time, which is crazy. There's people that fake it, right? There's people that say, "Oh, I'm thinking of this," and then someone raises their hand and they're like, "Oh, that's me." You know what I mean? Like that's not true though. This woman, I did a small one. My dad somehow got tickets for us and for my mom after my grandfather passed away, just in case, just to kind of do it, right?
Right.
And it was a small group of probably like 20 people. So
Wow.
she had a chance to go to all the families and feel the energy and say what she feels. What she said, no one could have known about my grandfather, about my grandfather or my nanny's dad, things like that, like things that you just can't know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you're believing that. Okay.
I
I
do.
believe in that too.
I do. Like especially if you went to this thing, dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy. You gotta try it. I would do it with you.
All right, we're going. Add it to the list.
Yep, I'll add it to the list. I don't know
That's
how much we can film it and all that, but you know what I mean. Like we can at least have an episode and talk about it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
true. Wow, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think those people are. I've never really met a medium face to face, so I've never experienced the being chosen or talked about things.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a wild experience.
Yeah, no, it honestly it was very interesting to see and to hear other people they couldn't have known that this lady couldn't have known, and especially seeing everyone else's reactions as she's like saying things about their people too. It's not the same things, you know. It's not just like these open things, you know.
Right. That's pretty much the whole story of the Ammons, the encounter, and everything like that. The demon house. Anything else you want to talk about, or we all good?
No, I think that was good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, for a new episode. It's Reed's episode. Probably another man.
Probably another man, you know me.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. And we'll see you on the next episode, Chasing the Spirits That Haunt Our World.